What do girlfriends and significant others think of hair systems? You're probably asking yourself that question if you're thinking about getting a hair system, or maybe you just started wearing a hair system and you're like, should I tell them? Should I not tell them? Will they think I'm weird if I have a girlfriend right now? There's a lot of questions about it, right? To know, because we're dealing with something that unfortunately has a stigma around it. So I wanted to show you this post that I found online where this guy was asking this question, and I wanted to answer it part by part. So I'm going to pull it up on the screen right now. It says, "Hey, my name's Camille. I'm 26 years old, nearly NW4, which is, his pattern of male baldness, right? I'm going bald drastically fast. Since 1 year, I take Propecia 1 milligram every day, but my hair is much, much worse than before taking it." He's probably suffering from shedding, right? Maybe, right? Maybe not. "I don't know if there's any hope. I gave up a few months ago because I believed that the hair system would be a great option in my case. A few months ago, I started dating a beautiful, caring girl. Aww. I fell in love with her. I don't know if my hair loss is a problem for her. She has never mentioned something about it." First off, that's great. I mean, if she's still dating him, right, it's probably not bothering her. And number two, you should probably be communicating with her. You should probably ask her and also be vulnerable and say, "Hey, this is something that's bothering me. How do you feel about it, honestly?" Right? Like, starting that conversation. This is something I've been working on in my private life, and I think it's really important to say. Starting that conversation with someone about something you're feeling vulnerable about will often liberate you in your experience. But let's continue. "I have very bad head shape, so I would look shaved like an alien. Believe me." It's just funny. But maybe true. "I don't know if I should try a hair system. I don't know what her reaction would be. Should I talk to her first and ask her for her opinion? I don't want to lie to her, so I cannot just attach a hair system and hope that she will never find out. Of course she will at the first opportunities. What about you guys? How did your girlfriend wife react to it? Did she laugh? Did she accept it? Did she leave you? Did she understand? Did you talk to her before you decided to have a hair system? I know that wearing a hair system has its limitations. No swimming, for example. I don't want to show her up when some of her friends find out. Do hair systems really look so good and natural that it could convince her that wearing this is better than me being shaved?" Lots of questions in that. So it sounds like this gentleman right here really has a sensitivity about his hair loss, and that's okay. A lot of us do, and it's not something that we voluntarily experience, right? And I think it's really awesome that he doesn't want to lie to her. He wants to kind of include her in this, but he's obviously nervous about what she's going to think, if she's going to accept him, if she's going to fall into that stigma, right, of like, oh, this dude is like wearing a wig or whatever, and either laugh at him and like leave him or whatever it might be. And then he asks, "What about you guys? How did your girlfriend wife react? And did you talk to her before you decided on a hair system?" I think, so to answer this right here, I think it's always good if you're in a relationship. Let's start with that first. If you're in a relationship, making any decision like this, you don't need another's permission. That's actually a really unhealthy relationship if you need someone's permission. I've talked with like my girlfriend, and for me, when I decided to get a hair system, I told her that this was something that I was thinking about doing. And, it was really scary at first, because what I did is, we've talked about hair loss and stuff, and I've been like, yeah, my hair is thinning and stuff. And I've told her how much I love hair. Like, my mom was a hairdresser, and it's always something I've watched and observed. And I first showed her this Instagram video of a hair application. I was like, isn't this insane? Like, the dude went from being like bald as a 8-ball to like an amazing head of hair. She was like, that's incredible. Like, he looks so good. And it was an amazing transformation. And it was a really scary moment. But what I said was, I was like, I'm kind of thinking about doing this. What do you think? Like, do you think it would look good on me? And she was like, yeah, I would. I think it would be really cool if you wanted to do that. You're thinking about doing it? And she like tossed it back in my court. And, there was this period of time where every single time I would bring it up consistently because it's something that mattered to me. And I wasn't like asking her for permission, but it's something that matters to me. And being in a relationship, right, we talk about the things that matter to us. So my girlfriend was very supportive of it, and she's been supportive of basically every part of the journey. There was one time she helped me rebond my the first time that my bond in the back of my hair system was coming loose. She actually fixed that for me, which was super sweet. And it was like a vulnerable moment because, you know, I had just gotten this hair system and I felt really confident, and here it was, she was going to be like lifting up that side of me that I was trying to hide. But she never laughed. The first time I came back with the hair system, she was like, whoa. She was like, you look like a different person. And I was like, what do you think? Do you like it? She's like, you look great either way. She's like, I think you look incredibly attractive with, you know, your regular hair or with this. She had never seen me with a shaved head at the time. And I'm super thankful for that. I think you never know how your girlfriend or your wife or even let's just say, you know, someone that you're going to date in the future is going to react to that. But what I can say is this: if someone is judging you, if someone doesn't want to be with you because you decide to wear a hair system because fundamentally you decide that you need to do something to improve yourself, something to love yourself more, something to treat yourself better, if they can't accept that and they can't love you for that, they're not the right person. And that stings to stay, right? It's easy for me to say that, and it's hard to execute on it and to realize, right? But if you have someone in your life, whether, you know, if you get a hair system, if you have someone in your life that doesn't want you to get it because they think you'll be a weirdo, or they don't want you to do it because God knows what reason, or they're going to laugh at you, or they're going to think you're funny, or they don't understand you. And that's kind of a problem. Now, it could be a problem for a couple different reasons. Number one could be that you have never shared with them this side of you. If you're keeping this deep, dark, dirty secret that is your hair loss and the psychological issues that you're having with it, if you keep that at bay from your significant other or your girlfriend, and she doesn't know, I mean, that's something that you have to address. And it doesn't have to be like this really intense conversation when you're like, I have something to tell you, I'm losing my hair. But what that means is that I would just say, like, hey, you know, I had never really talked about this with you, but something I've been walking through for, you know, a couple years in my life is this thing around hair loss. You know, you probably noticed that my hair is thin, or it's thinning, or I don't have a lot, and I'm actually kind of sensitive about it. And just opening up the conversation like that. And if she cares about you, which I'm assuming you have a wonderful, loving girlfriend, wife, you're dating somebody, whatever, and they're supportive and they care about you, they're going to want to know more about that, and they're going to know why you feel like that. And they might not feel the same, and that's okay. They might be like, oh, I think you look great, or I don't care whether you're bald or you're, you know, have a full head of hair or what you have. I appreciate you. And that's an amazing feeling. But just starting that conversation, I think, is really liberating. And then number two, realize that in healthy relationships, another person should and cannot ever dictate the choice that another person makes. You can have a conversation about it, and you can understand how another person feels in the matter. But ultimately, if my girlfriend wants to shave her head, that's not my choice. Like, would I prefer she had her hair? Maybe. I think she looks better with it, maybe. But if she wants to shave her head, I'm not going to stop her from doing that, because it's her choice. And if that's what she needs to do to feel beautiful, or she wants to experiment or whatever it is, good for her. And hopefully, you know, you're in a relationship or you found someone that feels the same as you and understands how deep of a potential psychological matter this is for you. So that's what I wish for you. So to answer this guy's questions, did I talk to my girlfriend before I had a hair system, or should you? You absolutely should. You don't have to. You could just, if you just be like, show up one day with it, That's cool too. But I think from the basis of like trust inside the relationship and letting someone, this is a great moment to let someone know that you're a human and you're vulnerable and you have things that, you know, are issues. I think that's a really cool opportunity. But this guy also, you know, he says, I know that you can't go swimming with a hair system, and I don't want our friends to know before she knows, like they're going to find out. Like, listen, this is, first off, you can't go swimming, right? And number two, the chances of anybody, if you get a good cut in, if you get a good hair system that matches you, your color, and you take care of it, your friends are never going to know. The only way they would know is if you tell them. And the only way someone could know is if they are very intimate to you. They're running their hands through your hair. How many people in your life run their hands through your hair? How many people in your life? Maybe your mom and your girlfriend or boyfriend, right? And then his last question: do hair systems really look so good and natural that I could convince her that wearing this is better than me being shaved? That question is a fallacy. One, yes, it can look so good and natural. But number two, you shouldn't ever have to convince someone that wearing a hair system is going to be better than you being shaved. This is a choice that you have to make, and only you can make, and only you have the agency to act on. And that's what I want to see in the side of this community. I want to see men that support each other to make choices that they need to make. Whether that's shave your head, whether it's get a hair transplant, whether it's go on Propecia and Rogaine, or it's get a hair system, or anything else in life. I don't want to see men that tell each other there's only one way of being and that other ways of being are weird or strange. I'm never going to encourage you to do that. I'm going to encourage you to look within for the right answer. I'm going to encourage you to experiment. And I encourage you to be that person for other people as well. Anyways, guys, if you found some value inside of this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to see when my videos are coming out. I'm really excited to just be here inside a community with you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.